cybersecurity risks, of course, that's why I'm here. Data breaches, other security vulnerabilities, IT-related risks, right? So as we tie more things together, and we all need vendors. That's part of this methodology, is we rely on vendors greatly. Well, that means we also have to watch them, watch the watchers, et cetera. Operationally risk, downtime, service disruptions, really critical in this environment. And once again, to Al's point, the interoperability is a huge component, because we have to imagine that we're working with these other things, and that is also required, that piece. And so if we change something, it may affect others, and really looking at that entire piece. Supply chain, yes, over and over again, and we'll discuss some of the ways that the supply chain and reliance upon that supply chain bit us, right? So we really have to understand it, because everything in our world is sensitive information at the very least. CJIS, Criminal Justice Information System, also, and evidence, right? Call recordings, et cetera. There's big risk here, and so we need to address that from the operational side. Financially, there's a huge cost to clean up, and understanding what the impact will be. We're not worried about losing business, we're worried about losing lives, and we're worried about how long it's going to take us to clean up that mess, right? And how long are we going to be in some way impacted in our operations? And then, of course, compliance, understanding how we can deal with the regulatory risk, which is also a risk. We need NTIC access, or access to criminal justice information. And if they're going to cut us off because we refused, and that's really what it would take to meet those requirements, we really have to look at it. Reputational risk. Well, this is oftentimes why we get attacked. Politically motivated individuals or countries. There's a huge amount of talk this morning about doppelganger and how they're faking websites to give us fake news from Russia, right? It's, nation states trying to affect us. Well, they're actually attacking public safety too. It's a primary target. And so therefore we have to be ready. Strategic risk. Well, this is also impactful to us in public safety. Not just our long-term goals, but our interoperability and disaster recovery, working with others who are also at risk because they use the same vendor, or maybe because they're using different vendors and they're not interoperable. And then legal risk, of course. We have to include, how do we talk about these things when it's happening, right?
And just the other point on this is that this pertains to your particular vendors, but you also have to make sure your particular vendors are using the same framework on their vendors. For example, if they pick a third-party supplier in their supply chain that is not financially sound, then it is part of your delivery or what's going into what you're using that impacts you. So managing that all the way down is critical.
Yeah. Through the entire life cycle, that's really what we're focusing on.